As you guys know, UFC Fight Night, Derek Lewis versus Teixeira is right around the corner, and this fight night will be taking place on July 12th in Nashville, Tennessee, in a crowded arena. So, in this video, I'm going to be providing you guys with my picks and predictions for each and every single fight that will be happening on this card. So, without further ado, let's get straight into my predictions. So, opening up the card, we have Fatima Klein versus Melissa Martinez. And for this fight, I'll be picking Fatima Klein to win by a decision. Next up, we have Mitch Ramirez versus Mike Davis. And I'll be picking Mike Davis to win by a TKO or a knockout. Next up in the heavyweight division, we have a fight between Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Volter Walker. And this is going to be a very competitive matchup, but I'm going to have to go with the experience and light heavyweight skill of Kennedy Nzechukwu to get this done by a knockout. Next up, we have Lauren Murphy versus Eduarda Moura. And for this fight, I'll be picking Eduarda Moura to win by a decision. Next up, we have another underrated matchup on this card between Jake Matthews versus Chidi Njokuani. And I'll be picking Chidi Njokuani to win by a decision. Now, headlining the prelims, we have a fight in the welterweight division. We have Chris Curtis, who is usually a middleweight. He's going to be cutting down to the welterweight division to fight Max Griffin. And I think Chris Curtis is going to get this done by a decision. Now, moving on to the main card, we have Nate Landwehr versus Morgan Charrier. And I'll be picking Morgan Charrier to win by a knockout. Next up in the heavyweight division, just like the main event, we have Junior Tafa versus Tucko Tacos. And I'm going to be picking Junior Tafa to win by a knockout. Now moving on to the featherweight division, we have Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. And I'm going to be going with Steve Garcia to get this done by a knockout. Calvin Kattar, he's a very tough fighter, but Steve Garcia, I think that he should have been ranked in the featherweight division a long time ago, and I think that he's going to put the division on notice when he finally earns his ranking spot against Calvin Kattar. Now for the feature fight, we have Vitor Petrino versus Austin Lang, and this fight will be taking place in the heavyweight division. We have a lot of fighters who will be switching divisions on this card. Vitor Petrino, he's usually a light heavyweight fighter, but now he's going to be moving to the heavyweight division to see how he measures up against the UFC heavyweight competition. I will be picking Vitor Petrino to win this fight by a knockout. Next up in the welterweight division, we have Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfim. And I'm going to be picking Gabriel Bonfim to win by a submission. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, he is getting older and older every single fight. I think that he should honestly retire after this matchup. And I think that his submission and grappling defense has been on decline. Shavkat Rakhmonov submitted Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and I believe that really exposed the decline of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's grappling defense, because Wonderboy, he used to be a very good defensive grappler, and he was able to keep the fight on the feet where he used to pick apart his opponents. Unfortunately, his grappling defense, like I said, it has been declining as he gets older and older. And I think Gabriel Bonfim, he's going to use that physicality on the ground, and I think he's going to win by a submission. Now for the main event between the two heavyweights, we have Derek Lewis versus Talison Teixeira. And this fight is kind of hard to pick because Derek Lewis, I'm not going to say that he flukes a lot of his wins, because I do think that he does have some skill. When you're a fighter who has the most knockouts in UFC history, there has to be some type of technique and skill behind that. There's no way a fighter just flukes 20 plus knockouts in the UFC. I think Derek Lewis, he can very well knock out Talison Teixeira. Derek Lewis, like I said, he knocked out a lot of fighters. He has a lot of good fighters on his resume. He has Curtis Blades. He knocked out Alexander Volkov. Those are like some of the top heavyweights in the division. But I will be picking Talison Teixeira to win this fight. I think that Talison Teixeira, he's going to be a younger fighter. Derek Lewis, he's getting old. I think he's over 40 now. And Talison Teixeira, even though this is only his second fight in the UFC, he showed that he has the ability to mix up his strikes I remember I think he KO'd Justin Tafa with a elbow in the clinch that absolutely just like knocked him out and just put him out completely. That is some striking diversity that you rarely see from the heavyweight division. A lot of these heavyweights, they just wing these big overhands, swing wildly. But Tyson Teixeira, he showed that he's able to use that physicality, use that size. He's 6'7". Not a lot of these heavyweights have that type of range and size to them. I think that he's going to be able to use that and knock out Derek Lewis in the second round. So thanks for watching this video. As usual, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.